Hey coin collectors, and welcome to another joint video between the DC Coin World Coin channel and the United Kingdom Coin World Coin channel. And this coin is a beauty. It's the 1970 10 new pence coin from the United Kingdom. And we see the back of it here, the crowned lion. And the crowned lion is facing to the left, has one paw up. This is part of the crest of England. The lion passon gardon, royally crowned, the passive guarding lion with the crown on its head, I guess is one way you could translate that. It has a beaded outer rim, and of course you see this very clearly. These beads do not touch the outer rim on here anywhere on them. If you get some that do, it's just because they've been beaten down. We don't see a lot of these that are kind of offset for whatever reason. So 10 new pence tells us something, right? And 1970 tells us something quite different and something quite interesting. Those of you who know United Kingdom coins know that the demonetization of the old English pound and the decimalization of the new English pound, where they made 100 pence equal a pound, actually happened in 1971. So this is the first penny, new penny, of course. They called it a new penny because it was different from the old large United Kingdom pennies. This is of course, the crown portcullis new penny. This came out in 1971. And so people who say, well, what's going on here? This is from 1970, and it actually came out before they decimalized the British pound. Well, what they did to kind of help the transition was they had 5 new pence and 10 new pence actually came out before. There's the 1970, and there's, of course, Queen Elizabeth. Came out before they did the full decimalization of the pound. So the pennies didn't come out until 1971, but the 10 and 5 new pence came out before then. How could they do that? I mean, how could they have a 10 new pence, which is a tenth of a pound, come out at the same time that they had the pound that was worth 240 pence? Well, here's what they did. And there she is right there, which is, I just love this coin. The Edgar Fuller Cecil Thomas coin here, the British 2 shilling. And by Edgar Fuller Cecil Thomas, I'm just talking about their initials right here, the engravers of this coin with the Tudor rose in the center. You see the Tudor rose here. We see the Irish shamrock, or Northern Ireland shamrock. We see the Welsh leek. We see the Scottish thistle going around the outside. This is a 1966 coin, one of the last years they made a circulating 2 shillings coin. Well, here's the beauty. This coin was 2 shillings or 24 pence or 1/10 of a pound. This coin over here was 10 new pence or, before 1971, 24 shillings or 1/10 of a pound. So there you go. They started early, put this 10 new pence coin out. It was the same. Look, it's the same, almost exact size. We put them up next to each other. Geez, it looks almost like they have the same exact number of slices on the rim here. This is a reeded edge. It looks like it has the same number of reeds, actually, if we match these reeds up. So they made this coin. They made it exactly the same size. And to usher in the new pence, they made it worth the same as a 2 shillings coin. And they actually kept this one for a number of years after, because they were the same size, they were the same value, and they were both worth, before and after, 1/10 of a pound. Except was this one really worth 1/10 of a pound? Well, that's the interesting thing. So the 2 shillings coin after demonetization was still worth 1/10 of a pound. So there you go. We had 2 coins, same value, totally different monetary system, right? 240 to a pound, 10 to a pound, but they were able to replace each other that way. Now, what's on the front? Well, let's look on the front of this one. Of course, this is the second portrait, the Arnold Machen portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which came in with the 1968 coins. And this is the first portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the Mary Gillick portrait. In both of them, she faces to the right. In this one, she has a laureate wreath as instead of a crown. And on this one, she has the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara on her head. And this is the one you can tell from the 2 points up at the front. That's how I identify it usually. This also has a beaded outer rim, which we see here. And we see this one kind of got worn down enough so it does touch right there. But that's not an error in any way. It's just the coin got kind of worn down. Again, the same reeded rim. They're both made of the same material, which is another thing that's interesting about them. So the 10 new pence is made of copper nickel, and it weighs 11.3 grams. The 2 shilling coin is made of copper nickel and weighs 11.3 grams. Now, sometimes this is listed as 11.31 for the old one. This is listed as 11.3, but essentially they weigh the same thing. They're the same size. They have different portraits on them, but they have the same value. And they are just a nice kind of addendum to history, because this one came out before they even decimalized the British pound, and this one stayed after decimalization because it actually was demonetized on June 30th, 1993. And the reason they ended up demonetizing the 2 shillings was because in 1992 they took the new off and they just made it regular pence, and they went to the smaller 10 pence and 5 pence coins. All right, well, that's all we have. And I just love these coins, love to look at them, love to flip them over, and hopefully you can find some for yourself. They are not very valuable. For those of you who always want to know what the value is, these aren't really worth anything. They're worth probably 50 cents for each of them. No more than that, really. If you get one that's in really, really good shape, the 1970, you might be able to get $1.50 or $2 out of it. But that would be an uncirculated one, and there are plenty around. How many did they make of the 1970? Well, they made 133.5 million. So plenty of them out there. Hard to find one that's worth much more than $1, especially if it's been circulated. Have a great day from DC Coin World and the United Kingdom Coin World Coin Channel.